Hello, my name is Aaryan. Um, I just turned 18 years old, and I've been obsessed with politics my whole life. I don't know, for whatever reason, something just intrigued me about it. Maybe it was for the fact that it was something that was not allowed to be talked about, something that had to be quiet, something that you couldn't have an open conversation about. And I'm now pursuing a degree in political science. And after just turning 18 years old, I've never been more unhopeful and more embarrassed to be a part of the voting process in this country. My whole life, I would say, I've always found, or at least try, to find a way to fit in. I would put on any facade, any sort of ideology to fit the mold, fit the ideology, fit the mask, blend in with the people because I always yearned to be a part of something. I always wanted to be included, and that doesn't just go for politics. But, after watching the debate, there was no positivity. I didn't feel spoken to, nor did any of my friends. And I decided to come on here and start this YouTube channel to document my personal feelings throughout this entire process. Um, a lot of people told me that I would make for a good politician, but I think my number one weakness is I'm not very opinionated. For whatever reason, I love to, well, I'll just sit down and listen to whatever you have to say, and I'll be so interested in it. But with that being said, I have a hard time clinging on to a certain set of beliefs. Even small things like taxes, well, it's not small, but policies that are very one sided. I have a hard time analyzing and understanding them. And as an 18-year-old young man, I still find myself clueless, even though I'm obsessed with it. And I think it's an odd feeling. And, you know, talking to politicians, working for politicians in my life so far, my very, very short life, the only strong opinion I feel now is the idea of positivity and respect. And unfortunately, that is not something I see in this current generation. And I don't know, I always resort to the fact that maybe I'm the one who's not doing it right. The fact that I don't have many opinions, the fact that I find it hard to cling on to a political party makes me the odd one out, the one who doesn't understand. But I think that eventually, and I remain hopeful about this, that one day things will change, and one day in America we will live in a system. And I've heard all types of arguments, that the electoral college is wrong, that the two-party system is just the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. But I find myself asking more questions than I do finding answers. And every time I do look for answers, I always find myself asking more questions. And, I always try to look up to the older generation, but at the same time, I try to look for new ideas, look for new thoughts, and things like that. Um, the idea of casting my ballot on November 5th is still something that terrifies me in the sense where I know my vote doesn't really make much in the grand scheme of things. Um, I don't feel comfortable supporting any political candidate, and I don't understand the idea of cutting my losses to support a candidate that I like not as much or hate just a little less. Um, you know, my whole life, like I said, I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to understand, and I feel like I live maybe with the kind of twisted principle that I believe that everybody genuinely most good people genuinely believe that they're good and they have good intentions and they just want good. So if I apply that mindset, it becomes very hard when I listen to other people, you know, giving me their opinions because I feel like nobody just believes things just to believe things. I don't think every Republican is racist, and I don't think every Democrat is some communist who wants to take away all of everyone's money, right? And the only thing I could think during that whole debate was how stupid and how funny we look compared to Eastern powers such as China and things of that nature, you know. But what I am hopeful about is that the people who I have talked to just genuinely want to do good. Most people in politics come from good hearts, and that still gives me hope. Um, I don't know what to expect in the future. Um, I'd like to think that I'm always the dumbest person in the room, and that I cannot, I never will be able to. I'm always looking to have my mind be disproven. I always want to be proven wrong. I think that's healthy. I think that's good. Um, but yeah, it's hard to find a place to call home, I guess. And um, for me, I, you know, I'll take on the chameleon mindset as Trump has prescribed Kamala, but in a different way, in the sense where if I'm surrounded by a bunch of people who believe a certain way, I kind of just find myself agreeing in that moment, in that very small moment, just so I can fit in, just so I can feel like I'm a part of something, just so I can feel like I understand. Um, and I think, I read a quote that says, politics is the science of fraud, and politicians are the professors of said fraud, which makes me question, why am I in this? Why am I still here? Why am I still researching all these things? Why am I still so invested? And I couldn't tell you, but hopefully throughout this process, throughout this um, YouTube channel, these postings, I'll be able to figure that out. And my ultimate goal here is to learn from you. I'm not here to prescribe my ideology. I want to learn from the people of the vast realm of the internet. So thank you and enjoy your day.